You're listening to a daily dose of Proverbs.
Hello, wisdom seekers. My name is Katie McKee. Today is the 20th, and today's verse is 24. The New American Standard Translation reads, "Man's steps are ordained by the Lord. How then can man understand his way?" This proverb falls in a chapter that is devoted to how to live life in a wise and righteous manner. And after a year of these, that comes as no surprise. Chapter 20 discusses various vices and dangers in this life and how we are to conduct ourselves as believers. But this particular proverb stands out. It alludes to what many Christians are unfamiliar with, and that is the theological concept of sovereignty. And this concept is at the very heart of the gospel. What is the first tenet of the gospel? That God is perfectly holy and God created and sustains all things. Did you catch that? Sustains. Oftentimes we forget this attribute of God. He made all the beautiful things around us, but we feel alone and this immense pressure to make sure we make all the right decisions because, after all, if we make the wrong decision, maybe God's will won't be done, and so the spiral ensues. But this cannot be further from the truth. He is a hands-on, curating God. He's in every breeze, every breath, every heartbeat. Nothing that happens is beyond His notice, and furthermore, His will. How then does the free will of man to make choices work? This is the doctrine of concurrence. While we have the freedom to act and make decisions, all things in heaven and earth fall within the umbrella of God's providence, and He uses hearts and actions of man to work His will all the time. Take, for example, Joseph, son of Jacob and Rachel, who was sold by his brothers into slavery. And that action by his brothers put Joseph in the position to enter and run Pharaoh's household, and eventually save those very brothers from the famine that destroyed much of Egypt. Did God force those brothers to make that decision? No. But was He sovereign over the situation? Absolutely. Hence the result in God's glory and Joseph's good. Oftentimes in Scripture and sometimes in life, we are given the opportunity to see the results of a situation like this, the happy ending, where God shows us why we were to endure a trial. But this is not promised anywhere. And if you find yourself wondering how on earth God is using what you're going through, keep listening. Case in point, the will of God will be done. And is that not such a beautiful thing, Christian? There's no accident in your life, no happenstance. God is working all things together for the good of those who love God, for those who are called according to His purpose. We don't have to wring our hands over every decision we make. Of course, we should be studious and wise when we have a decision to make. God gave us the book of Proverbs, after all, because He expects us to exercise wisdom. But will the decision I make cause the earth to crack and God's plan to melt to the ground? Nope, because His will be done. And what is His will? We don't need to wonder. Our good and great God tells us. His way, as the proverb puts it, is what will cause His glory and our good. May the desire of our heart be to delight in His will and walk by faith as we humbly accept whatever that may be. Let it be a prayer, a recitation of your heart. Your will be done on earth, Father, as it is in heaven.
Thank you for listening.